Did you see RRR?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Dude, that movie's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude. It's like 3.5 hours too. It's ridiculous. I know. I wanted to ask you about the NFTs, because I feel like the way NFTs are gonna just end up working is like it's just gonna be metaverse stuff. Where like, essentially, because now like NFTs started off with like the Beeple thing and like it started off as artwork mostly, but really it's just like at some point it's just going to become
Indian Telugu movies are no surprise taking over award ceremonies and the internet. And of course, it was bound to happen that they will reach a global audience at some point. On this episode of Unfiltered with Aman, I have a very good friend, Graham, who is also my party buddy and who is here from Colorado. He's a media student and is currently pursuing how do you create a brand strategy and how do you create brand content. In this episode, he's going to share his thoughts about Indian culture, about his thoughts about different movies, and also how he has reached here as well. It's very important for anyone to know how do you build yourself from the ground up, and Graham is one of those people who have clearly made it. Make sure you subscribe so that you get notified whenever a new episode comes out. I hope you enjoy this podcast, and let's get started.
Well, yeah, I'm super inspirational, so that's a good thing. You got the right guy for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but my name's Graham Groth from Denver, Colorado. I'm 22 years old and I'm finishing up my college degree abroad, and it's not much more to that. I'm a media major, so I'm like I have a mass communications degree essentially, so it's very broad. Like I'm focusing more on like advertising and brand building, essentially, like, but also journalism and storytelling and like,
So basically, you are in the space where how do brands depict a story to the customers? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, specifically outdoor companies.
Okay.
Is kind of going to be my specification because I love nature.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think like, for me it's just been like deciding what I want to do in life has been, I've always been the type of guy that has like all these different passions at all different times, and then I get bored of that passion, I move on to something else, So I was like, well, what's something that's, stuck with me the whole time? It's being outside and
being in the nature.
Yeah, and like I love the idea of storytelling. While I'm maybe not the greatest at it, right? There's amazing storytellers, but like it's interesting to be like able to captivate somebody with like just even a moment from your life is like simple. I don't know.
But does it like run into your family or something? Is it? I mean, do your parents like have the same sort of alignment, or maybe your backgrounds? What's the alignment from them?
My parents are. My mother is she's a nurse practitioner in the cardiology world. So she deals with whatever, she deals with patients, heart conditions and stuff. And then my dad's a real estate agent, so not really like. But the interesting thing is, my uncle's I guess you could say like a radio show host out in Dallas, Texas, sports radio guy. Yeah, so he's a lot. I think he and I are similar. He's more interested in sports and able to kind of like, he's got a big, bank of sports facts and information that he can just rip out at any point in time. Like that's what it takes to be in like the sports world. It's like you got to know everybody's name, what year they played on that team, what they did on that team, their time there and stuff. So like, yeah, I'm not quite like that. I can't. I love sports. I grew up playing American football, right? But but he's definitely the storyteller in my, bloodline, I guess. But I don't know, right? Like, I think it's a creative thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think being influenced by, like your uncle, and, it might have given you a push, that this is something which can be turned into a full-time profession as well.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people don't really have that, a resemblance to something that, people think that, this cannot be a possible profession at all. So, but have you like have you tried doing sports? Being in the sports radio show as well?
Yeah, I've done some interested. I've done some podcasts and recorded stuff, but like, you know, mostly I was just talking shit about Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if you know who Aaron Rodgers is? Yeah, dude. Aaron Rodgers. No, but yeah, like but just to cut, my buddy and I like got on and I had to do something for like a class, and I recorded a podcast where I talked about.
So this is not your first podcast for sure.
No. I've done a few of these before, but yeah, it's all about brand recognition in podcasts.
Yeah, true.
And talking.
Yeah, makes sense.
No, but yeah, the sports world is interesting, but if I was to do it, it would have to be through a different lane than just like really giving like good analytical takes about, you know, whatever team is going to be good this week and stuff. It would have to be like basically just me, you know, talking shit, having fun, cracking jokes about people.
I've seen your work on YouTube. You know, you basically made a video where you are like fishing, and I personally feel the storyline was quite good, and you know you put it up quite like a good story altogether.
Yeah.
And so do you want to like build upon those same sort of video series?
Yeah, totally. I think if I could make like I like that fast paced kind of quick content where it's just like, you know, telling a story and like getting it over with fast. Like that was exciting. That was exciting for me. But that took me like a long time because it's only like 3.5 minutes, or maybe it's 4 minutes. I don't remember. I think it's like 3:30. Yeah. But
the edit is quite solid. I mean, it's so rapid, you know. One frame after the other, one frame after the other.
And that was difficult because it's like you have to get a ton of B-roll for that type, you know, thing. So like, yeah, if I were to do that again, which I definitely will, I'll know how to do it better this time, right? Like that was kind of a first attempt at that. So yeah, hopefully in the future, if anyone listens to this, there'll be more content that's better, right? That I can say is.
But and how has it been for you? I mean, moving from the US to here, you know, in Europe. Is it your first time in Germany, or?
Yeah, first time in Germany.
Okay, and how is it? How do you feel about it so far? I mean, apart from the extreme cold right now.
Well, the extreme cold is not that new to me.
Okay.
I mean, here's the thing: it's cold here, and it's cold, like humid cold, where it like gets into your bones and you feel that. You feel it in your ass. You know, it's like. So that's a little different because in Colorado it gets cold and it snows like a lot more in Colorado, but it's dry. So it's not, you're not like, you can kind of layer up and it'll protect you pretty much. But here it just seems to like just crawl through your like sleeves. I don't know, man. It's like, it sucks. But my adjustment to Germany has been totally fine. I was so excited to come here. Like it was a little, you know, obviously like a little nerve-wracking. You're doing something, doing something that's, you know, you're going so far away from home. But, dude, I've been in the same place my whole life pretty much. It was like, I'm ready to bounce out, you know. Let's change up the scenery for a little bit. Yeah, and I'm kind of like wondering, like, you know, if I can figure out how to make reasonable amounts of money out here, like, I could stay. I don't know about Germany, but I could definitely stay in Europe. Right? Yeah, but totally.
But so you plan to stay in Europe at least, if not Germany?
Yeah, I would probably not come back to Germany.
Okay.
I mean, I'll visit. You know, it's great, but
stay here for like long time.
Yeah. I wouldn't live, especially in Dortmund.
Yeah, I agree.
You know? I'm sorry, Dortmund, but you just don't have what it takes to be one of those top cities quite yet. You can work on it. I'm saying, you know what they need to do? They need to put a river through it.
I think you're saying this because I think you have been one of those people who have, you know, explored, you know, nearby places quite a lot, and I think quite far places as well. You know, you've been to London and you're going again to London.
Yeah.
And you know, more places around. And so I think you can give you know, not just me, everyone, like a very good comparison, you know, which has been your top highlighted places which you would recommend to anyone, or, you know, which you would say was the best place for like staying.
Well, Barcelona's
But
Dope.
or even like.
Oh, in Germany?
No, not in Germany, of course. You know.
Oh,
maybe
just in the
maybe,
world.
Maybe in Europe. Maybe in Europe. You know,
Okay, in
after
Europe.
coming here, after so like a 4-month analysis, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
4-month analysis. Let's go like yeah. So like I was just in Barcelona and like it was such a breath of fresh air because there was like one day where it was like sunny and the sky was blue and there was like, you know, the beach and the Mediterranean, and I was like, dude, this is like, I've been in Germany for the past month and a half, like, and it's just like cold and like gray. It's like, yeah, this is how it is now. Yeah. And it's like just that one day of like sun was so nice. So that was pretty cool. Also, we went to some really, you know, awesome like nightclubs and stuff there, but food was cool. But are you kind of asking like, am I top place type thing? Yeah. Okay, so I would say that. Yeah. As of now, but I'm about to go on that ski trip to Mont Blanc, Chamonix, Mont Blanc. If I'm saying that correctly, I don't know.
Mont Blanc.
Yeah, sure.
Are you going with Luis?
Yeah, and my other friend from the U.S.
You know, Luis on the last session on the podcast.
Yeah, what did he say?
Yeah, he said that you look like Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, dude. I get that a lot. Okay. Everybody says
after he said it, I think I agree with him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, he would say that, Luis. Yeah, everybody always like, if it's always super unoriginal too. It's like if I see stuff like last night, I saw these two girls like laughing at me.
Okay.
Laughing at me, like across the room, pointing and like hee, laughing at me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like they're probably gonna like, I'm gonna go up to them. I guarantee you they're laughing because they call me Ed Sheeran. They think I'm Ed Sheeran. And I went up to them and I was like, hello. You know, like, why are you laughing at me? And they were like, because you look like Ed Sheeran. I was like, all right, yeah, I know, I fucking called it.
Okay.
Yeah. Every time. But there's yeah. The only time it annoys me.
Yeah.
Is because it's funny. It's like, also, I don't really look that much like Ed Sheeran.
I think you do.
I do a little bit, but like,
maybe
I've got a way better beard than that guy, dude.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Maybe just hold.
Give me that. Give me that.
Maybe just hold the guitar, you know.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm not changing anything. Ed Sheeran looks like me. No.
Okay. But maybe like on these lines, you are also quite involved in like the party culture over here in Dortmund, you know. So I mean, from a perspective of, you know, parties, do you feel like Dortmund has given you the satisfaction that you need, or, you know, you found much more better party places elsewhere?
Dude, I can party anywhere, right? Like like we're partying right now. It's all like, I wouldn't say I'm like this like party guy, really. You know, it's like I just like, you know, hanging out with friends, right? I think in terms of like real like big parties, like crazy, like carnival, you know, like where it's like there's an entire town, around, like just in one place drinking and like just, you know, there's just destroying the streets. That's interesting to me.
That I think that happens in Cologne, right? You know,
yeah, in Cologne.
The entire town is like,
yeah, because we went to that one day.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was kind of sick. So I didn't like drink too much, really. But yeah, I think it kind of starts up again soon.
Yeah.
I don't actually know, but I've been interested in this idea of like the Oktoberfest, carnival, Mardi Gras in New Orleans, like all these massive like party events worldwide. Like it'd be so interesting to like go like see each one of those and then compare it. Yeah. You know, and see like which one's the craziest. You know, but honestly, like you kind of. It's hard to say which one's the craziest because you're the one.
Yeah, who makes it crazy.
You makes it crazy, right? I'm not like, and not it's just about being in the right place at the right time always. Like, and also you don't want to see anything like bad, because like the unfortunate thing is like Mardi Gras and Oktoberfest, and especially those two are kind of like it's not unsafe for women, but they can like it can be weird for girls especially, and like at Mardi Gras, like traditions like.
Where does this happen, Mardi Gras?
New Orleans.
Okay.
New Orleans.
And what is it about?
I don't know. It's like it's a medieval holiday, kind of a celebration.
Also like Oktoberfest, essentially.
Kind of, not really. It's more a carnival and Mardi Gras are the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both celebrating like a time where like to be masked and basically behave like a degenerate, and then but it ends on Ash Wednesday.
Okay.
And so like you're supposed to like kind of repent a little bit on Ash Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, so like the leading up to that, everyone just goes fucking buck wild and like they're throwing up in the streets and like it's, you know, I don't know, craziness. And then you're supposed to like kind of become, you know, a better person because you let out your demons at the end. How well that works, I don't know.
Okay.
But also, I don't think anybody's like, especially the college kids out in like New Orleans that are partying for Mardi Gras aren't like going to church on Wednesday. They go back to class and they're all hungover. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool, man. But so, what's your take on the fact that, you know, that a lot of like typical American stereotypical thing that people say, do you have like anything which you feel is like a very stereotypical thing, but you know it's not like something that you agree to? You know, like a lot of people say maybe like about food, or you know, American people do.
Oh yeah, like like stereotypes.
Yeah, like stereotypical thing. You know, do you feel like something that you want to feel like, you know, it's do you have any offense against them, or do you feel like
no,
it's fine?
No. Dude, the stereotypes are all true.
Okay.
They're all true, man. We're fat. We like fast food. You know, we're loud. But that's fun, man.
Yeah.
We're fun.
Yeah.
You know.
I think that's
and the problem is we used to be really good at joking around and taking jokes.
Yeah.
We're not as good at that anymore. We can't bust each other's balls as much as we used to be able to. You know? And that's a bummer. I think that needs to come back. Like we need to be a little lighter. Like, you know, just like be able to joke about things. But like in terms of stereotypes, like, and how people have kind of stereotyped me as an American, dude, I am that guy. I'm like so American, and I realized that as soon as I got here, like how American I am. Like I have a pretty
solid accent.
Solid American accent.
Yeah,
and like I wear a hat everywhere, you know, which seems to be the biggest giveaway, which is interesting. Like if I put the hat on backwards, everyone's like, "Oh, dude, that guy's American, dude. That guy's from the U.S." Yeah, but I don't mind, man. Like. Yeah, it's like anything. You know?
But I think this also comes from the fact that, you know, even Luis was mentioning it, that, you know, it's very easy for American people to start a conversation. You know, like if you're like starting if you are standing on a bus stop and you're like bored or something, you just, you know, feel like, you know, telling some guy, "Hey, dude, how are you?" And you'll start a conversation which is going to be very short. Yeah. And then you'll move on, essentially, right? Yeah. So you keep on engaging with each other, you know, doing something or the other like that.
Yeah, maybe for him. I don't know. I don't know about me. Like, I don't think I've ever been at a bus stop and been like, "Hey man, how you doing?" You know, like some random guy. Yeah. Luis might have. That's Luis's character. Luis is very talkative. You know, he's good. He's a good conversationalist. And
how is it for you then?
Well, I'm a little weirder than Luis. You know, like I kind of have like a. Not weird, but like, yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes for me, like it takes people a little bit longer to
open up,
get me, get me, in a way.
Yeah, and you're very. And I remember from our class as well that you're very particular about saying your name the right way. It's Graham, right? Not Graham or Graham. Like a lot of people were telling you like the other we have accents, but you're very particular about your name.
Yeah, Graham.
Yeah.
Well, it's just because it is Graham. It's like if somebody calls me Graham.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. It's like,
kind of weird, yeah.
I guess I do correct that. I corrected that the other night, last night. Just realized that.
But maybe what's your favorite hobby in terms of an American culture thing that you feel like people are very stereotypical about, but you're also like this is something which I really love to do.
Well, I'm a big fisherman.
Yeah. Okay.
I fly fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I love fly fishing. Fly fishing's cool because it's just it's a nice way just to like, you and the boys go out and fish and like, it's like if you catch a big one, it's exciting day. If you don't, it's like not a big deal. No reason to get bummed out. Like, and it just takes you to like some of the most beautiful places in the world, right? So it's all tied into one package. It's like hanging out with friends, seeing amazing places, and having like catching a big fish. The thrill of that is exciting.
Yeah.
And it's like have you ever caught a fish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. It's kind of exciting.
It's exciting.
Yeah. And people don't get it. People will be like, who cares? Like, it's like, I'm reel it in. It's not that big a deal, but it's like, it's kind of like a struggle. It's it's like a very like.
It's like a lottery. I feel once you get a fish, you get the hook out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to do it even more.
Want to do it again and again, and that like I've gotten to the point where like I've caught so many trout that I'm like very focused on catching the biggest, because the biggest is the most fun to fight and stuff, and it's like. Dude, it's very primal. It's like natural. It's like a battle between man and fish. So that's dope. I also just like I said, like just being able to go to like amazing places. It's basically an excuse to like get on like a river and like look at mountains and trees. Wildlife, dude. It's awesome.
Do you feel like with this kind, because I mean listening to the news of course, and a lot of I've never been to Colorado, of course, but I know that for a fact that a lot of places in the US especially are facing this challenges against like nature getting depleted or something specifically. And do you feel like apart from the nature, do you feel like anything specific that you feel being in the US is a major challenge for you, or for the people as well?
No.
Okay.
I think
you took a dramatic amount of pause. So I was like, maybe there's something which is going to be there.
Well, maybe I think it's obviously like you kind of hear in the news and stuff. It's like the U.S. people are so divided.
Yeah.
But like that's dumb, man. Like why are we all so divided? Like we're all people, It's like I saw this clip the other day. It was George Carlin, who's a comedian. I don't know much about him, but he was on some talk show.
Okay.
And he was talking about, the talk show host asked him, he was like, so you hate people, right? It's kind of like a joke. George Carlin's a very like negative kind of comedian, but he answered it. He was like, no, I don't hate people. I was like, I don't like people when they get in groups. An individual on every level is an individual, and they're like, they're interesting as one person, right? But as soon as people get into groups, it's like it gets tribal, right? And that's where I mean that's a ridiculous. I mean, it's so true though.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought that was a really interesting take. Especially, that's a ridiculous question to ask somebody. Like, you hate people, and he answered it nicely. Like, while groups are not bad, right? It's just an individual is an individual, and you can judge an individual's character.
Yeah.
Or not judge it. It's like, it's
like an option.
I don't know if what I said is making any sense, but
yeah, I get it.
What was the question?
Insane. But I think I get it. Like judging individual is like a different thing, and in a group, it just gets lost away.
Yeah.
It's like you can't really judge a group.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
People get into groups, and then the groups start to not like other groups.
Yeah.
And then that's where it gets sticky.
Are you following football by any chance?
Football?
Yeah.
Like
the
FIFA World Cup?
Yeah, World Cup.
Yeah,
FIFA.
dude. We got a game this afternoon.
Yeah. Who are you supporting? Who are you supporting?
I'm supporting both teams.
Okay.
Yeah. I care for both of their journeys.
Okay.
No, but I have a bet with Luis.
Okay.
On the winner of the game today. It's a crazy big bet.
Okay. Who are you betting
all
on?
€5. I have picked France to win. And he has Argentina.
Okay.
So we'll see, man.
We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think by the time this podcast will be out, the results will be already there.
Yeah. We'll know.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing: is like Messi is so unbelievably good, and you want to see him
win,
take it home.
Yeah.
While that is the case, France is also just as a whole, they're like the whole package. They're all like every single player on that team is like fills a role and fills it really well. So that's my take on that.
But I think a lot of Indian viewers of mine who might be having this question have tried Indian food. When was the first time did you try it?
Indian food?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love Indian food.
Okay.
Have you been to that full kitchen over there?
It's
all right.
It's all right.
Yeah. It's a good. I order that all the time. That's a good if you're feeling lazy, just order some. Some of that.
But when was the first time?
When
was the first time, and which is your favorite dish, though?
Dude, I like the generic stuff like the chicken tikka masala or
chicken tikka masala.
Yeah. But I can't remember the first time I tried it. I was probably pretty young. I'm pretty adventurous with food.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So like, I've had it. I had a really good place. I went to a really good place in London.
Okay.
It's called Dishoom.
Okay.
Dude. And it was like you can't make a reservation there, and so you just have to show up, and it's like an hour wait at any point in time. Packed. Dude, it is like, and it was worth the wait because it was like, what would you call it when like you order a bunch of dishes and you kind of share? I mean, that's like kind of a traditional way of eating.
Thali.
Yeah,
thali.
Yeah. So we got it like that and like ordered all different things, and I like some spice, right? So like we got a spicy, some sort of spicy curry, or I don't know what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you also intend to plan to visit India at some point of time, or is it not on your list?
Sure.
No, but I mean, what's something that you are looking forward to if you plan to?
If I would go there?
Yeah, I mean,
dude, I don't know much about it, right? Like, I would go. First of all, I would really go anywhere in the world, but there's some places I might not go.
Okay.
But yeah, that I have no idea. Like, do you have any recommendations?
I think you start with. I think you'll eventually land either in New Delhi or Mumbai, and you can start essentially from either from the north or the south.
Yeah.
I think it depends upon what do you like. You like food. I think you can find food everywhere.
Yeah.
But if you like culture, there are like places where you could go in Mumbai and New Delhi, or go to Agra for the and I don't know, man. It's depends upon your taste and what you like actually.
Yeah. Well, dude, I want to see. Where I would go is like, I would try to get to somewhere where like you could see the Himalayas.
Yeah, the north essentially.
Yeah. So that I think that would be really cool, is to go out there. But yeah, I don't know. I just anywhere like. I don't want to go to like a super busy place, right?
You like the calm places.
Yeah, totally. And I want to, I want to get the real culture bite, man. Yeah.
I remember at a brief moment of time. I mean, we had this conversation once, you and me, like a little maybe long back. That you are also kind of interested in maybe entrepreneurship and starting something of your own. So
okay.
How does you look at that direction? I mean, for you, how do you look at that, and which direction do you want to go in?
In terms of like starting my own business.
Yeah.
Well, I would look towards. I want to start like a production company that would create videos, essentially, like the one that I've made for outdoor brands, influencers, whatever. And influencers are kind of do their own thing, but like creating advertisements and brands and like and being outdoors, like I said, if I could somehow pack that into a business, right, then that would be ideal. I don't have any plans to do that anytime soon, but eventually down the line, I mean, it could even just be like a personal brand of some sort, right?
Yeah, like a consultation basically, or something like that, or like I talk like a personal brand on Instagram and everywhere.
Yeah, I could be my own influencer, but I don't love the idea of like being like a vlogging guy.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I don't want to do that.
I think I think one of the things about that is like that's not sustainable as well. I mean, you can do it for 5 years, 6 years. You know, eventually you have to switch to something else.
Totally, yeah. Unless you're really good at it, you know. But like, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, you're totally right about that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, after a point of time, you know, you'll eventually get tired as well, and you want to move on with something which is much more interesting. Even if you're doing like daily vlogs or doing something like that.
Yeah.
You'll get tired.
Yeah, that sounds exhausting, and it's like, it's also fake. It's so fake to me. I like just the kind of attitude and the behavior that you have to kind of make that work, make it interesting and engaging for people. Is like, it seems exhausting to just be like this kind of almost caricature of yourself in front of a camera all the time.
You have to adapt to the people needs and trends and everything as well.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you're constantly, and people really sell out with that stuff now too.
Yeah,
it's like some people are just have realized that like if you want to get views, you can just say wild shit and just be shameless about it.
Yeah.
And like that'll blow up because people like hearing crazy things. Yeah. You know? So
and, I think it also comes down to the fact that a lot of people, get involved into controversial stuff on purpose. That's the same thing that you're trying to say, right?
Yeah. I mean there's certain people, influencers and stuff these days that are like really just like, and then also on like a podcasting format, like that are so like, they're so keen on just saying the wildest thing possible just so they can get views, and it works. And it's so scary because like there's kids out there that listen to that, and then they take that and then they take these wild ideas that somebody said just to get, attention, right? And then they,
they implement it.
Yeah, they use it in their own life. It's like, it's sketchy.
I think that also like goes on to the idea that, it's very hard for, any one individual to, trust what is there on the internet as well.
Yeah.
It's like, everyone is being a guru these days,
Yeah.
Everyone just wants to show like, oh, I'm like the fintech millionaire, driving Lamborghinis and stuff.
Yeah, they're like just buy real estate. Real estate's the key to success. It's like they make it sound so easy. Like, oh, I can just put down $10 million on a property and then like get a loan for this property and then oh yeah, and then you just sell it for more. And then boom, $1 million for you. It's like, well, how'd you get the $10 million in the first place?
Yeah,
guy.
True.
I don't know. I can't go into finances, man. I'm not nearly educated enough to talk about that stuff, but I do know that there's some there seems to be some kind of like finance guru stuff as well that like can't be true.
Yeah.
And it's the other thing is like the whole, I mean, you might know more about this than I do, but like the whole FTX thing.
Yeah.
Like that is, it's because
of a big scam.
Yeah, a giant scam that got like super rich people involved in.
Yeah.
Like literally like heads of state and stuff. Tom Brady, gods such as Tom Brady.
Yeah. It was actually quite, insane to see that if a company like FTX could actually do something like this.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they just vanish away.
Yeah. And I mean, like, so I don't know. Let me see if I got this story right for this, right? So what it sounds like happened is FTX, the guy, or just as a whole, all the people in charge of that.
Yeah.
They were taking in crypto or they were basically buying foreign, like Chinese crypto. Right?
So they were essentially using like diverting or routing the money of the investors.
Yeah.
And building other things.
Yeah.
And they were not really focusing on FTX at all.
Yeah.
So, and essentially, you're actually right. They were buying, Chinese cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
And they were converting those currencies with the currencies that you have given to them.
Yeah.
So let's say you give them like 120,000, ETH, or any maybe Dogecoin or something. They'll convert it with something which is far less valuable. And the next time when you want to take it back, they'll not give you the exact same currency. They'll rather give you the other currency.
Yeah.
So that's how they were essentially keeping their currencies, intact. And
okay.
Yeah.
So they were buying, right? They were, as a way to make money.
Yeah.
They were buying cheaper Chinese cryptocurrency.
Exactly.
So that they could funnel. Okay.
It's exactly the same thing. Like it's known as pump and dump, right?
Yeah.
They pump it up and they dump it in the end.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
And then when crypto started crashing, right? Everyone's like, okay, I'm gonna sell.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, oh, we don't have your money. We've been buying resorts in the Bahamas, so we don't have any of your money, And then like, he also, that guy tried to donate like $1 billion to Twitter, like to Elon Musk and Twitter. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, exactly. And have you seen the video where someone posted on, I think, TikTok or YouTube, where they saw the CEO running with a backpack in Bahamas like this?
No.
Yeah.
What was he doing that for?
Yeah, because he ran away from Dubai or someplace, and he went to Bahamas, and he was like essentially staying there until undercover.
Yeah.
Until the I think the FBI caught him.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That guy's gonna go to jail. But unfortunately, it's like, he probably won't go to jail for that long.
Yeah.
He's still like he can pay for some pretty good lawyers, I'm assuming. That's such a crazy thing. Right? Yeah. What do you think about crypto is so interesting, and like the blockchain is really, it's like, it's kind of interesting that like we didn't see that coming, like especially blockchain technology is like, it's basically just a banking system.
True.
Right? Or bank statements. Yeah.
But I feel at the end, have you heard about the recent technology upgrade that Ethereum did with their blockchain? It's known as the merge. So what they did is, like, usually initially what was happening is that a lot of people were using supercomputers to process all the blockchain data, right?
Yeah.
But Ethereum recently changed the entire software stack, and now it's like, they don't need so many computers, so they just need only 2 computers. And they're located at their headquarters essentially to process the entire thing. So all the people who were having all these huge farms, of processing data, they essentially shut down. All of them.
Oh, okay.
All of
like the big mining?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All the mining thing just went down like this. So I think it's like, and right now Ethereum did it, which is one of the, I think the second or the first topmost, most, value standing Bitcoin currency. And if a lot more other currencies start to do the same thing, it's going to be basically, like a huge change in the trend.
Yeah.
I feel, this blockchain thing from the very start, I feel it's like a very fragile thing, on the edge. Everything is on the edge, right? After every one or 2 years, they'll be like, okay, this is the new stuff that we're working on.
Yeah.
This is the new stuff that we're working on. Like last year, it was all about NFTs, right? And, this year, NFTs a drop.
Yeah.
No one is talking about it.
I know. I wanted to ask you about the NFTs. Because I feel like the way NFTs are gonna just end up working is like, it's just gonna be metaverse stuff. Where like, essentially, because now like NFTs started off with like the Beeple thing, and like it started off as artwork mostly, but really it's just like, at some point it's just gonna become virtual matter, right?
Yeah.
It's giving a virtual thing the appearance of matter.
Yeah.
Right? Which is just crazy to think about.
NFC is like a way forward of basically making a system where people can own stuff in the digital world.
Yeah.
And if you go a little technical into the same thing, NFTs basically do something as a policy. Okay.
Yeah.
So every time you purchase a new NFT, there's a new policy which publishes and says, this NFT belongs to Graham.
Yeah.
And it keeps on updating as the buyer keeps on changing.
Yeah.
And although NFT might not be something which is like a successful project at the end, but I think it gives a very solid proof of concept that how you can make something on the digital world authorized to someone. So as a like a POC or proof of concept, I think it's a good start.
Yeah. I mean, I just I picture this world, this Ready Player One world where everyone's in the metaverse and the real, eventually in 2065, maybe there's the weather is so terrible, global warming's taken hold. It's now where everybody's in the metaverse and NFTs are just the start of giving every object in the metaverse some sort of value, right? And it's for example, these leaves, we don't care that much about these leaves, but in some way the leaves have value, right? And while that value is practically, nothing in our eyes, they have value to, the grass or the trees or whatever, right? And so as soon as the metaverse becomes so advanced that you can really live in there for long periods of times, the NFTs are just creating, it's a non-fungible token, and it's adding value to everything in the metaverse, which is such a wild, it's such a brain
blowing stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, one day, do you think that you'll people will be spending weeks at a time or months in the metaverse?
I think the problem right now
among
is,
the AI.
I think the problem right now is the hardware that we have, essentially to access these metaverse or any sort of AR things.
Yeah.
It's quite limiting, You use it for 20-30 minutes and you're tired because it's so straining and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So unless and until they they do something revolutionary, I think it's going to be still a little long-term wait for us to start to adapt to it.
Yeah.
You remember the time when computers or workstations start to pop in, a lot of people were against it because a lot of people were not having the comfort to access them, and they were having that friction that it's not so easy and it's not so accessible. And now let's say someone is born in 2022, and that child is definitely going to have a cell phone by the age of 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So for him it's he was never born without an internet,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's scary, dude. It's scary. Yeah. I mean, have you ever seen those pictures of what they think people will look like in the year 2023, 100?
Okay, no.
And they look like fucking lizard people. And they're their backs are all bent over, and it's basically just they've been adjusted to work better with technology. It's how they look. I saw one where it was literally the person looked like an alien. It was so weird. Yeah.
I think this whole idea of using this smartphones and all, it's quite terrible, I would say. I hate the people who are holding their phone like this all the time.
Yeah.
And they're just scrolling up and down all the time. That's bad.
Yeah. And I gotta say, I gotta admit, I will sit in my room for hours at a time, scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through TikTok, and I'll just be what am I doing? God, I'm wasting just 2 hours of time that I could use towards
building something new.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Or even just maybe read a book every now and then, Graham. Why do you gotta you're looking at just Family Guy clips on Instagram. Let's I don't know. Yeah. I don't. It's funny because that's kind of one of those things that those business guru guys will say is oh, that time that you spend sitting on your phone, you could spend that time go to the gym or something, they're you could be investing all this time, you could be investing right now. And it's but sometimes you need to just relax.
True.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Damn. I think we went to a quite deep conversation on those, with the NFT and metaverse thing.
Yeah,
true, man. Let's see how it unfolds, maybe 5-10 years down the line when we'll watch this podcast back again, then some of the facts might be true.
Dude. Maybe. it could be. I hope it's not.
Yeah, I hope it's not as well.
You know, I hope that we have like, I hope that in a way like culture shifts again to like getting people more interested in like being in,
Being
attentive.
in real life.
Yeah. Because even when you go out, there's people that are like, constantly taking pictures and videos of each other. It's like, you don't want to just like kind of cherish the moment a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm cool. Like, I'd like to, take a picture, take videos, whatever. Like, it's fine with me. But like, especially when you're like around it all the time.
Yeah.
Like when you're constantly, like when your job is like taking pictures and videos.
Oh.
And then you come back and like you want to just talk to people and they're like up in your face like taking videos and stuff. It's kind of like back,
Especially on the dinner table, I feel when you're like dinner table or like even if you're out on a date or something. Yeah. If you are with someone, you should just drop your phone, in your bags.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm guilty of that too. Like maybe not the taking pictures and videos, but like I'll find myself when I'm just like when I'm not doing anything and I'm just sitting at a table or something. I'll pull up my phone. I'll look at it for like 2 seconds. I'll be like, okay, well that was pointless, It's like, I do that all the time. Yeah. And I constantly catch myself going like, why did I
pull it out?
Yeah. Why did I even look at it? Like I was just because I was like, the being in the moment was too much pressure for me at that moment. I don't know what it was, like, yeah. So I guess if there's any inspiration to take away from that conversation, it's like maybe spend less time on your phone. Be more attentive.
I think I applied this thing like a couple of weeks back, and I feel maybe this might be helpful for you or all the people who are listening as well. That I think I figured out my most a used app was actually my Gmail app. That's
really,
that's funny because I'm like checking my phone or my Gmail like every like 5-10 minutes. I'm like if there's a new email or something. Yeah, I just deleted it from my phone.
You deleted it?
Yeah. So if there's an email or something, I just have to open up my laptop and be like okay, now I can answer it. Otherwise it's gone.
Yeah, I bet your business partners and employees and stuff are like, Aman's usually so on it with the like responding to emails.
No, I think now it's like I want to drop it away.
Yeah.
And especially on the weekends, I just don't want to see my email and work at all. It's I think it's a huge step, but I think it helps.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, I think it's not like just Instagram and everything is like one of the addictions. Other apps can be addiction as well.
Totally.
Yeah, I think people have different ways of exploiting different apps.
Yeah. 100%. I think the most addicting is like social media and TikTok is got to be the most addicting app ever. Other than like maybe like Candy Crush or like those gaming, those apps are like crazy addicting too. But like TikTok is like, I feel like they made that to create little iPhone zombies. Because it's so easy. You just sit there, scroll. Yeah. Look at that. Dude, this guy's making salmon,
Yeah. It's funny because, in India, 2 years back, Indian government actually banned TikTok. So technically, I cannot even install it on my phone if I want to.
Dude, I got to ask you about, this is totally off topic, but like Bollywood films and stuff. Yeah. Do you like those movies?
Yeah, I've been used to, but now it's like, I think the level is going down now.
So did you see RRR?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Dude, that movie's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude. It's like 3.5 hours too. It's ridiculous. That is maybe my favorite movie I've seen in the last year.
Okay.
Dude, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Anybody who's watching this needs to watch RRR. I don't know what RRR Rise.
Yeah, I mean it's
something ridiculous.
Yeah.
But dude, it's the most epic like action adventure movie ever made. Ever made.
I agree.
Yeah, it's ridiculous too. Like there's scenes that you're just like, okay, that is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, just like fighting on shoulders and like leaping over. Like it's about these like two friends. Yeah. It's a little bromance that they have. Yeah. And eventually, but they're like both like, they both find out that they're like on different sides of they're kind of working against each other.
I think you're spoiling it for the for the people though. I think you're spoiling it for the people.
I'm spoiling it
for the storyline.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it. I won't spoil it. Yeah, you're right.
True.
Dude, it's awesome.
It's good. So did you like saw it with like with subtitles and stuff? Like, how is it?
Yeah, subtitles.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, that's cool, man. I mean, they publish it with subtitles.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is that an Indian movie?
Yeah, that's
it is.
Movie, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Telugu Tamil. I think Telugu or Tamil movie. Yeah, it's from the south.
Okay.
So it's not in Hindi essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, they released different versions of it, but
okay.
It's primarily not the. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, dude. That movie's
like a benchmark for you.
Dude, totally. I was so, cause my buddy told me about it.
Yeah.
And he sent me like a trailer, and I was like, well, this looks ridiculous, but I'd have to watch this. And so me and my other friend, like, we're just hanging out, not doing anything, and we're like on Netflix, and I was like, I passed by it, and I was like, dude, let's watch this. He was like, I don't. he was kind of like not super down to watch it. I was like, I just put it on, whatever. Yeah. And then like there's a first action scene where this guy like goes and like literally kicks the shit out of like 1,000 people all by himself. And it's awesome. And we were like, okay, like didn't expect that, you know? And it just keeps coming, man. Keeps coming. It's a little slow sometimes, but
yeah. But it's a long movie as well.
Yeah, I'm so happy you saw that, dude. Because that movie's great.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a great movie actually. I agree.
Yeah. I mean I feel like it defines, if you could call anything an epic, right? Like the Iliad. Like it's like literally like a mythological epic story.
True.
Depicted on screen, and it's pretty good, like well done. On
the production side,
CGI, well. Yeah. It's really the choreography of the fight scenes are like
on the top.
Really, like top level stuff, and you kind of have to appreciate that. Yeah, dude.
Do you have any like end notes for your 16-year-old Graham?
16-year-old Graham?
Yeah. Do you have any?
That's a good question.
That you want to tell to that guy?
Yeah, I would say be a little more open-minded. You know,
okay.
We don't have to be, and don't worry so much about like, you know, how smart you are,
okay,
or how dumb you are. Is probably the better way of putting it. Because you're gonna get a little smarter. You're gonna get just like right now, everyone's dumb. Yeah. Everyone's dumb when you're 16, right? And like, don't worry. Some kids, I remember being in some like kind of upper level courses like AP, I don't know. Yeah, like
arithmetic progression and stuff.
Yeah. But like English classes and feeling like a lot of pressure from like a lot of really smart kids around me because I was like, well, I didn't get I didn't ace my test, right? Like everyone else in this class, or like the ACT.
Yeah, ACT exam. Yeah.
Do you guys have to take those?
No. We have different examinations.
Different exams. Yeah, like all these kids got like, perfect scores in the ACT, and I'm like, got like a terrible score. And I was like, I had a lot of worries about that. I was like, oh, I'm not as intelligent as these guys, but like, who cares, man?
Yeah.
They're good at that thing. You're good at another thing.
Yeah.
I played football all throughout high school. And like American football, and that was like the most. It was the best. How do I put it? Like, it was so valuable for me because rewarding, really rewarding. Because at the end, I was always kind of like I was always small, especially for my position, right? And I gained like 100 pounds in high school from like the start from freshman year to the last of it. And like, but I really like through that whole experience and like, working out and like, and eating and like, I was really dedicated to, earning a starting position, which I eventually did. And I performed well, but then I got hurt, which kind of sucks. But like, that like learning that how to work hard, right? And what what it feels like to be dedicated to something was like, it's a knowledge that I'm so happy that I gained, you know? And I think it's just so like it's to know what that feels like to be like truly dedicated and know how to like, and just like have that drive where you want to work hard all the time, right? Like is something that I'll never forget. And even if it didn't totally pay off in terms of like me going to play college sports or whatever, it's still like the best experience that I could have possibly had out of high school, right? 16-year-old self. Right. Long answer.
On that note, I think we call it
wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, bro.
But thanks, Graham, for doing this with me and being here in this cold weather as well.
Yeah, dude. It's a little chilly.
It's a little chill, yeah. But yeah, I think that wraps it up. And it was lovely having you here. And yeah,
okay.
I think we'll end this.
Yeah.
End not like this.
Yeah, we'll cheers it.
Cheers. Yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as well. And let's catch you up in the next one.
Peace.
Cool.
Thank you, sir.
Amazing, man.
Yeah, great.
Fantastic.
I hope you got something good out of that.